This is Grandma in Grandma's Corner, and I have been spending time with my grandchildren this week, and it has brought back some fun memories, but mostly fun memories of my children who happen to be their parents. But when I fell in love as a young girl, I found just the right man, and he found just the wrong woman. And it was funny getting that together. He came from a household where they didn't do yard work and they didn't do outside work projects, and they just didn't do a lot of together family stuff. And I came from a family where we did everything together. So we got married, and he told me we are never going to buy a house because we are going to live in an apartment. That way, I don't have to do any yard work. I don't have to do any repair work, and we can just do what we want. And that's when I had to give him the understanding that he married the wrong woman because I was going to have a house. I did want a big yard and a garden and to work in it and all the things that I did as a child with my parents, swings and turning bars and all kinds of things. So he said, well, that's fine. We bought a house. And it was with the understanding he would not take care of it. So I did. And the first thing I did, it had no grass, it had no yard in it at all. My dad graded the yard for me. And then I began to plant the grass. And I began to plant on the embankments so that when it rained, they wouldn't fall down. And he was fine. I could do anything I wanted that way. But he discovered that we were outside and he was inside, and he liked having alone time, but not that much alone time. So he came out to see what I was doing. Well, I was weeding my new lawn. I put it in 10-foot squares. I could only do 10 feet at a time. And pretty soon he got tired of standing and talking to me, so he sat down and he saw what I was doing, and he'd reach over and pull up a weed and toss it, and pretty soon I was done weeding, but he wasn't. He discovered, that's all right. And the kids were playing. And by the time we had our children, he loved being outside. He loved working in the heat. I don't do heat well. So guess who ended up inside? I did. And guess who went outside? He did. But it was so sweet because our children did it all with us. When we worked in the yard, they were in the yard. When we worked in the house, they were in the house. But no matter what we were doing it as a family. And he fell in love with family life. My father taught him all about how to build things, how to work the ground. He took him shopping when we were getting married, and after he worked with my dad for a whole day, then he and my dad went and bought tuxedos together. And of course, he discovered who he was married to, my mom and dad. Because my mom and dad did everything with us and we with them. And as I was talking with my grandchildren, and we have expectant babies coming, and we still have teenagers, we still have very young grandchildren, as they were talking about the issues in their homes, it reminded me how blessed I was, because my mom and dad didn't hold it against us girls for not being boys, and they taught us everything they would teach boys, and Daddy didn't hold it against us, and he did everything to teach us all the things that he did, and cooking and camping, and our favorite memories and my grandchildren are tied up in that lifestyle. And it makes me so happy to see them doing things together. Not just anything, but doing things that were worthwhile. Weeding the garden, mowing the lawn, playing in the yard. And that's what made life wonderful. And that's who I am as a grandmother still.